My dear brothers and sisters, welcome to the Lectio Divina of the 27th Sunday of the year on the theme All Have One Origin. Let us begin with a prayer. The Lord bless you from Zion. May you see the prosperity of Jerusalem all the days of your life. Psalm 128. The theme of today's reflection is inspired from the second reading of the day, where we read, He who consecrates and those who are being consecrated all have one origin. The immediate reflection would be Jesus who consecrates us and those who are being consecrated, that is, we, all have one origin, that is, God. If we realize that our origin is in God, is from God, then we'll be able to better human beings in relationship with human families and human society. Let us begin with the first reading. The first reading is from Genesis chapter 2, 18 to 24. Book of Genesis has two creation narratives. Our reading is from the second creation narrative. There are some key differences between the first and the second creation narratives. In the first creation narrative, male and female are created together by God and they are created in God's image and likeness. While in the second reading, second creation narrative, man is created first, that is out of clay, then the woman is created out of man's rib. And God breathes into human being, that is man, and God just makes a woman out of man's rib. In the first creation narrative, God sees everything as good, while in the second, man's aloneness or singleness is seen as not good. Here, aloneness has nothing to do with loneliness, because loneliness or aloneness could refer to be a meaning of feeling, but this has nothing to do with feeling, but something to do with existential reality. Suppose I say, I kept my phone and my charger separately on different bags. Here, I would mean that I have my mobile phone in one place and charger in another place, which means they are separated from each other. So that is the meaning that is implied here. And God tries to find a helper, Yetzer. The word Hebrew word here means not a partner actually, but a helper for man. Man names all the living beings. In biblical tradition, to name means to establish a relationship. God creates a deep sleep, and the word in Hebrew for the deep sleep is laveth. It is used also to refer to death. In the sense, the author wants to tell us that man didn't know how the woman was created. He was deep asleep or he was in a state of near death. Woman is created. Man does not know what happened really. The mud, that is a soft nature, made into a man who is very hard in nature. The rib, by nature is very hard, but made into a woman who is very soft. Out of her man taken, that is why she is called woman. Here we do not know how Adam came to know that Eve was taken out of him. Finally, the author concludes, man clings to his wife and they become one flesh. Authors say that these words must be a later addition when the institution of marriage happened, because in the initial creation narrative, there was no father and mother, so it was not really logical to say that Adam would leave his parents and would cling on to. But figuratively, we could say that Adam would leave God in the sense he will leave God in terms of embracing his wife. The first reading tells us that man and woman have their common origin in God. Here, man is made of earth, woman is made of rib. Their common origin is God. Number two, since man and woman are one flesh, they complement each other. Number three, God alone can cure our loneliness. When man was alone, God was there with him. When he was asleep, God was with woman. That is why oftentimes in our human relationships we are not able to complete the other in terms of loneliness. However, our partner is with us, we still feel lonely because only God can cure our loneliness because He was the one who was standing with us at the moment of creation. The second reading is from the letter to the Hebrews. Here, the author of letter to the Hebrews presents Jesus as the supreme high priest. He presents that Jesus is Son above all the angels, and as man, he is little less than the angels. He says, through his humility, we were exalted. In the sense, Jesus came down as human being so that we also will raise to God. And in his coming down, he became lower, he became humble, but that humility exalted us. At incarnation, Jesus embraced humanity, and on account of his death and resurrection, we too share in God's life. Therefore, the author of the letter to the Hebrews says, we have one origin, that is, God and us, Jesus and us. And what has become of it? Jesus is not ashamed to call us brothers and sisters. In a sense, Jesus identifies himself with humanity because humanity has the origin from God. The Gospel reading is from Mark 10, verses 2 to 16. This Gospel reading could be divided into two sections. Question on divorce. Jesus blesses the children. In Jesus' time, the law of divorce was favorable to men. It alienated and subverted women. Jesus clarifies that divorce leads to adultery, and in a way, Jesus tries to protect women from being divorced and being pushed into adultery. In adultery, another thing happens, that is, Jesus says God's plan of creation is disturbed. Goal of marriage is bearing children, and that goal is achieved only in a marital relationship and not in adultery. In a marital relationship, the couple experience their common origin in God. To conclude and to reflect for today's realities, we can say Lectio Divina gives us three lessons from the three readings. Number one, we have our origin in God. Man has the breath that is from God, and woman is being created out of the rib of man. Both ways they have their origin in God. Therefore, what is the implication? No more discrimination among us. Discrimination based on gender, caste, or any other identity. We all have one origin, that origin is God. If we realize that, automatically all types of partiality, favoritism would disappear. The second reading invites us to embrace humility. Jesus embraced humility, and in that humility, we were all exalted. And since we have a common origin or common life, it is better or it is justified that we humble ourselves so that the other person becomes elevated. And when the other person becomes exalted or elevated, we too participate in that person's success, and that way we also are exalted. The Gospel reading invites us to celebrate family relationships because we are meant to love and be loved. And today, the world is proposing to have living together or single parent marriage or no marriage or being single. These types of relationships or these types of gender identities oftentimes disturb the common creation plan. We are meant to be loved, but in all these relationships, as our Holy Father says in Amoris Laetitia, there is always a possibility of replacing the partner. But as far as family is concerned, there is an element of God and there is an element of covenant which binds us together. So let us celebrate our family relationships today. Let us conclude with a reflection from Responsorial Psalm, where God gives five blessings to a human person: blessings of a fruitful wife, lively children, recompense for his work, fame, and peace. And all these blessings are there for us because we have our origin from God. Thank you.